breaking, shocking news, the Church of England's dirty secret. The Church of England once owned a sugar plantation on Barbados that profited it about £5 million a year in today's money. They purchased slaves from West Africa and subjected them to inhuman treatment, including having the word society branded on their chests with a hot iron to show that they were the property of the church. The further shocking news that has just emerged is that a previous Archbishop of Canterbury actually chaired the meetings approving the purchase of more slaves for the plantation. They were needed because so many had died as a result of their inhuman treatment. The church also enslaved children as workers too. The wealth the church enjoys today and its ownership of vast parts of the land and real estate of England and its prestige is because of this shameful blood money from the past. The Catholic Church and many of the popes were no better, abusing the innocent and forcing them into slavery. People often trust religion, religious people, and the church. They shouldn't. It has little, if anything, to do with God or Jesus. It is a human system spawned, controlled, and dominated by men. It is responsible for atrocities throughout history, even up to our present day. Only trust that which you have researched, investigated, reviewed, assessed, experienced, and concluded is safe, honourable, has integrity, and has crossed the ultimate threshold of being able to pass the test of love's scrutiny.
Greetings from the east to north to south, and this wicked-ass place. The topic, smiling faces tell lies. The questions, why you think these devils are incapable of telling the truth? Let's get into it. I am your host. I am the one.
Okay, 1, 2. One thing I've learned over the years is that Christians tell lies. These devils are incapable of telling the truth. They'll give you a half-truth. Matter of fact, they'll even make it sound good. This devil, the devil that he is, he was telling a history of slavery. And that's the thing that draws black people into Christianity. Any black person with a normal state of mind, if they examine the facts, they will get the hell out of Christianity. This devil will tell you half-truths. And you'll say, hey, you know what? He's on our side. You'll think he's sympathetic. Oh, he's sympathetic to our cause. This devil just tell you half of the truth. And the next words that come out of his mouth will be pure lies. And I'm going to prove it. I think he's going to give you 9 examples of things you don't have to follow. And he's going to say, according to the scriptures. And every last one of them will be lies. Now, first thing he said is, well, he'll give you a view of slavery. No, I'm sorry. He'll give you a historic perspective of what happened in slavery. And what the devil does, as always, he'll give you half the truth. And he'll allow black people, this is only for black people, and he'll suck you in to the point where you'll think this devil is sympathetic to our cause. And he'll give you the history and it'll infuriate you. He said the Catholic Church did this, which of course they did. And then he'll suck you in and he'll give you a false sense and a false description of the Bible. He's going to give you 9 things. 9 things. And he's going to lie on every single perspective and definition of what the scriptures mean. He's going to lie 9 straight times. This is why black people get sucked into Christianity. They get sucked in because, number one, you trust this dirty, filthy devil. And all the while, all he wanted to do is suck you in, making you think that he's sympathetic to your history and what happened to you and your ancestors in the past. And then he's going to suck you into a lie. And he's going to do it with a straight face. These people are incapable of telling the truth. The Bible is the Israelites' history book, not these devils. And the history of our people, not the Edomites. It's the history of our people. And I'm going to prove from the scriptures everything he told you is a pure lie. Stick around for the next video. And he's going to describe 9 lies. Not 9 lives as a so-called cat have. Because this devil going to get killed on the first one. 9 straight lies he's going to tell. Stay tuned for the next video.
9 big, fat, whopping Christian lies. 1. Christians claim that God has chosen them above others. No, God has no favorites. Only bad parents have favorites.
Okay, you heard what that devil said, right? You heard what the devil said. Now let's see what the scriptures say. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. It says, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above all people that are on the face of the earth. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 1. Verse 1 says, comfort ye my people. Verse 17, that's the verse I want. Verse 17, it reads like this. All nations before him are as nothing. They are accounted to him less than nothing and vanity. All nations mean people. People are, of course, nations, right? All people before him are as nothing. Now, verse 1 said, comfort ye my people. That simply means the Israelites, God's chosen people. And then he went on to say, all nations before him are as nothing. And he went on to say, and they are counted to him less than nothing. Now, that's the first lie this devil told. We can go to Hosea chapter 3, verse 2. We can go to many. We can go to the book of Ezra. Because the fact that devil know the Apocrypha. It's in the Apocrypha, but, you know, most of you Christians don't believe in the Apocrypha. So let's move on. Let's move on.
2. Christians claim the Bible is God's word. No, the Bible didn't even exist in Jesus' time. God speaks continually.
Okay, he said there was no Bible in those days. Well, let's see about that. The book of Luke, chapter 4, verse 16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and his customs was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath, and he stood up for to read. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Esaias, or Isaiah, right? Okay. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. Now, Jesus was in the synagogue, okay? And then he read from the prophet Isaiah. He read from the prophet Isaiah. So what in the world is this devil talking about?
3. Christians claim that God sent Jesus to die. No, God sent him to live. Religious fanatics killed him.
Again, this guy, this devil, he just keep lying. He said Jesus did not come to die, but to live. The book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 28. Let me read it. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. To give his life a ransom for many. This devil continues to lie. Come out of Christianity. Christianity is garbage. The Bible says, open the book of the law and read. You better read for yourself. If you keep on listening to these devils, you're going to go down with them. Let's continue.
4. Christians claim that Jesus is the only way to God. No, Jesus said love was the way.
Okay, again, this devil continued he just continued to lie. He said Jesus is not the only way to God. Well, let's see what the scriptures say. The book of John, chapter 14, verse 6. Now, what you really need to do is read John chapter 14 straight through. But just for time's sake, John chapter 14, verse 6. Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. I need to read it again. John chapter 14, verse 6. Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. This devil just continued to lie. To get a better understanding, read it from the beginning. John chapter 14, straight through, from verse 1, and then you can get a better understanding when you get to verse 6. But let's continue. Let's move on.
5. Christians claim that God needs blood to forgive. No, Jesus just forgave and said we should also. 6. Christians claim that we should go to church to worship. No, Jesus said pray alone.
Now, most people know in Christianity that Jesus was the blood sacrifice. So nobody is teaching blood sacrifice no more. And that devil know that. But you must, let's just read it. Read Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together. What did it say? Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, by exhorting one another, and as so much more as you see the day approaching. For now, if we sin willfully after that, we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remains no more sacrifice for sin. So, in other words, you're supposed to assemble yourself with the congregation. Now, he said something about praying in secret. One thing about that is Matthew 6 tells you that, but this devil again took it out of its content. Matthew chapter 6. I'm just going to read from verse 5. I'm going to read it right quick. Verse 5. It said, when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogue and in the corner of the street, that they may be seen of men. And then Jesus went on to say, verily I say unto you, they will have their reward. In other words, if you pray in secret, but this devil took the whole thing out of content. But well, I'm not going to get into that. Let's move on.
7. Christians claim that everyone should be Christians. No, Jesus never tried to convert anyone.
Yeah, but this is simply because Jesus didn't come for everybody. One of the lies that the Christian church always telling everybody is Jesus came for everybody. He did not come for everybody. They'll use the verse John 3:16, for God so loved the world. And they'll use that saying Jesus came for everybody. Jesus never came for everybody. The book of Matthew chapter 15, we'll start with 21. I'm going to try to read it right quick. Then Jesus came thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievous, vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And he said, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Verse 24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Jesus came only for the Israelites. Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. Verse 26, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread, the children of the Most High God, and cast it to dogs. So, in this case, I will agree with this devil. Let's move on.
8. Christians claim they have the right to tell others how to live. No, Jesus said not to judge and not to condemn.
Okay, back in the day, Tupac popularized the phrase, only God can judge me. Okay, and people took that and ran with it. But here's the thing. It never works when you are a victim of a crime. If somebody steals your car, you can't tell that thief, only God can judge me. Women run down to the courthouse. They want child support payments. Now, the man's looking at the woman, and the man's saying, hey, only God can judge me. You see how that don't work? So when you take things out of its proper context, all hell breaks loose. Now, if you can, I think most people take Matthew 7 out of its proper context. If I can read it right quick, just to get a little understanding, I'm going to try to read it right quick. The book of Matthew chapter 7, we'll start with verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest that the mote that is in thy brother's eye? But consider, this is what he's saying, but consider not the beam that is in thy own eye. In other words, you're looking at somebody else, telling them how awful they are, but look at yourself first. That's all it's saying. Where I'm at, verse 4. Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thy own eye. Here's what he said. Jesus was saying like this. He said, verse 5, he said, thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. In other words, righteous judgment. So when you hear even a pastor, it's got to be super pathetic if he say, don't judge a person. People come to the church to be judged and get cleaned up. But again, Christianity is such a joke that when a pastor tell you, don't judge anybody, that's why the women in the church are so loose. That's the reason why. That's why the pastors are so loose. The whole congregation is loose and does anything and do anything they want to do simply because they're under the notion, under the false premise that don't judge me. It's not going to work in the real world. Let's get to the final thing that this devil have to say.
9. Christians claim only Christians go to heaven. No, Jesus said all good people go to heaven. Don't get tricked into believing Christian lies. Trust Jesus. Trust yourself.
Oh my goodness, this guy is terrible. He said, Jesus said all good people go to heaven. You cannot find that nowhere in the scriptures. Nowhere. It's not there. I will put up $1 million if I had it. I only got $10 to my name, but I will put up $1 million if I had it. You can find that nowhere in the scriptures. It's not there. This devil just lies with such a straight face. It's nowhere in the scripture where it says good people go to heaven. Nowhere. He said, trust yourself. That's what he said. He said, trust Jesus and trust yourself. Number one, he's not even teaching Jesus. Now, let me get to this scripture. Lean not to your own understanding. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. Lean not unto your own understanding. This guy said, trust yourself. How can you trust yourself if you wicked as all hell? He said, trust yourself. And then went on to say, in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. The Most High will direct your path. You do not believe in yourself. Most of these people is wicked. Most people are wicked as all hell. And you gonna trust yourself? And something else where he said all good people is going to heaven. What is considered good? All of these Catholic priests that had a heavy hand in slavery, they were considered good people. So when you say all good people go to heaven, judging by what standard? What standard do you consider good? The white man in this country, in all his evil ways, he swear he's good. That's not going to help you. Now, what's going to help you is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. And it simply says, I'm just going to paraphrase it to say, he that endures to the end shall be saved. The Israelite that followed the laws and endure to the end, those are the ones that's going to be saved. That's it. Israelites, no other nations. Israelites going to be saved. You can get into more in depth if you want to. It's a group, the most powerful group out here, IUIC. I've never heard nobody like them before a day in my life. You can get understanding from those guys. I don't know anything. I couldn't even match up with the lowest member of the group. I couldn't even come close. But that's the group you want to go to learn if you're an Israelite. But let me tell you something. Come out of Christianity. Come out of Christianity. If you don't, that's on you. You'll be taught all types of lies because they got not the truth in them. One thing I realized about when you don't know the scriptures and anybody get to talk and anybody say anything and you say, oh yeah, that's right. That's true. Simply because you don't know the facts. You don't know the scriptures. So if you get caught up in listening to these devils, you're in trouble. I would just ask any black person or any Israelite, let me try to get away from black, any Israelite to come out of the Christian church. Any Israelite. Jesus said, my sheep will hear my voice. So if you're an Israelite, you will hear the Most High's voice. But I'm up out of here. I am your host. I am the one.